All right, so I'm going to set this document up as, remember it's 3240 by 1080. Basically what that is 3 1080 square panels, all right? So the way I'm going to build it, you can build it, you can set up a document to that size if you want. It's just that then you've got to put guides in so you know where the panel breaks are. I'm going to do it a little different way. I know that each of my panels need to be 1080 square. So I'm going to make a document that's 1080 by 1080. Basically, it's going to be the size of one panel. All right? So there are actually a couple of ways you can do this. The first way would be, if I go up here under, so where the move tool is, there's an artboard tool. And if I do that, go to normal layer, whoops. I think this works. Not normally the way I do it, but it is a way you can do this. Maybe I shouldn't do it this way. We'll find out. We can actually duplicate that? I cannot. There. Oh, let's do that. And then I'm not going to use the artboard tool. I never use that anyway. We'll skip the artboard tool. Although I do want to come back to that. It's goofing. So here's the way I'm actually going to do. This is the way I was going to do it in the first place. This always happens when I go off script. I got my 1080 square document. I'm actually going to grab from the left-hand ruler a guide and drag it over to the right edge. I want to drag a guide over to the left edge. And they should snap right onto the edges. All right? So basically what I've done is I've set my guides, the only two guides I really need. And then, let's see, if I go back here, the size of, so 3240 is the size of the document, overall size of the document. So if I go up here to my image menu to canvas size, if I make sure you leave the center point right in the very middle like it is by default, if I change my width to 3240, make sure the center point is right in the middle, and say OK, there's my document with the guides in place and everything. I could have made the document the right size and dragged guides in place, but it's kind of a pain in the butt trying to line up your guides right on that 1080 mark. It just is. So I figure this is a way to get around that. Just so you know, I think I mentioned this before, but in case I didn't, I can also do this by, I know that I've got 3 panels that are 1080 square. So if I know that this is one panel, I can also, under my canvas size, whenever I set this width, I can add an equation into that. So I can say 1080 times 3, so asterisk 3, because I know that it's 3, you know, my final size is going to be 3 times this one, and hit return. That'll make it as well. You can put equations into your sizing fields. So now we've got, this is the full size of our document. So when you're taking your background, whenever you're going out and shooting this image for your background, your image needs to be a minimum of 3240 wide at 72 dpi, or 72 ppi, pixels per inch. All right? Cleanness, crispness of the image is important. It's part of what will be graded on. All right? So, let me see real quick if I have. No, I do, but let's see, what do I have that I can use? There we go. I'll grab this. Send it to myself. All right. So here's an image. Maybe this is the image I'm going to use. Maybe it's not. All right. Nice large image. Just copy that. I'm going to paste it into this document. All right. And then, so just to give myself a background image so I can do this easy enough. So I've got my background image, I'll build whatever else on top of it. Whenever I export this, I'm going to export it as slices. So if we take a look at behind our crop tool, here on the sidebar, there at the very bottom are two, there's a slice tool and a slice select tool. I'm going to select the slice tool, and I'm going to go up to my view and make sure that I'm snapping to my guides. I am. And kind of zoom in on this a little bit. I'm just going to draw from this upper corner of the document down to this guide, one slice. And I don't know if you can see, but in the upper corner, there's a little blue box with a little blue 1 in there. And if I come over here, slice 2 is the rest of this. So I'm just going to, so I drew the first slice, I want to draw the second slice. Across between the guides. And my third one kind of defaults, but I want to go ahead and drag that out too. So I put 3 slices in there. And now when I go to File Export, I'm going to use Save for Web, the legacy. And you can see my, here are the slice, kind of depicts within this preview window, the last slice I had selected was the last one, so it's full strength. The rest of them are kind of grayed out. So I can, if I hold down my Shift key, I can select all of them. I'll select the file format, JPEG, I'll set it to very high. And then say save. And I'll just make a folder on my OneDrive. Images only. Make sure that at the very bottom here where it says slices, all slices is selected. Make a new folder for my slices. Yeah.
So if you were to not say all slices, would it just be a single strip of it?
Say it again.
If you were not to bring that, would that just be a single fragment of it?
If I didn't select,
All slices.
it would
Would it just be a single frame, or would it visually see?
it would either give you the entire image, probably just give you the entire image actually. The options are all slices, all user slices, or the selected slices. So, yep. If you've got slices in there, though, it's going to want to export the slices. So, yep. We'll do that, and flower. Say save. And now when I go back to that folder, here's my slices folder. Put an images folder in it, and here are my 3 individual slices. Open with preview. 1, 2, and 3. So we'll build it as one file, export it as individual panels. Any questions on that? No? Okay. It's pretty basic. Do I need to do that? Anybody need to see it again? Yeah? Okay. The slices part, or from the very beginning? Start over? Or just the slices? Okay. So I'm going to go back here and use my slice select tool, and I'll just delete all of these and do this again. All right. So with my slice tool, just kind of zoom in here so I can see what I'm doing. Too big? There we go. So with my slice tool, I'm just going to, and this is much easier if you make sure that under the view menu you've got snap to guides, and document bounds selected. This is far easier because it'll make sure that everything's the right size. So snap should be checked, snap to guides, and snap to document bounds should both be checked. All right. And then you just start at the top corner, click, and drag. Since this is going to be square, I'm holding down my shift key just to make sure. I shouldn't really need to, but. And then whenever I've got my first slice drawn out, I'm going to go to this second panel where this guide is, click, and drag down to that corner. And I want to do it again a third time with the last one. So the reason I put the guides in is twofold. One is so I know where the edges of my document are, and I know where I'm, whenever I'm working, where it's going to cut. The second is it makes the slicing process easier. So once I've got all 3 of those slices, if you mess up the slices, by the way, just go back over here, get your slice select tool, select the slice you messed up and delete it, or if you select it, you should be able to change it to sort of fix it, because it's got little handlebars on it, and you can kind of resize. But if you have the snapping on, it makes it really easy to make sure that it's all right. Okay. Once you've completed all of that, when we go on to the saving part, are you still making your slices? get all three of your slices? Can I move on, or? You good? Okay. Oh, okay, so click on that real quick. What do you, so I see all the tools there. You got the select tool, so you want the slice. Yeah, there you go. Now if you click and drag. Oop. There you go.
Oh, okay, so I was using the wrong tool.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Easy peasy. There you go.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, so once you got all three of your slices then, File, Export, and I always use Save for Web, the legacy. You can, and if I want to export all three slices, I'm just going to click on the first one, hold down my Shift key, grab the second one, and then hold with my Shift key, grab the third one as well. Set your file format and your resolution. And then when you hit save, just make sure that at the very bottom of the save window, all slices is selected. Should be by default, but name. Let's see, save. When you're done, you should have a folder with your three slices in it. And if you want to save that file and you've got it set up, save as. But that would be your image to work with. So, you can break, you're going to have type with this assignment, logos for the product or the brand, I would expect you'd have. They all need to be really good, clean logos. So if you need to redraw a logo in Illustrator, do it, all right? You can run type across gutters, but remember that it's a gutter just like in a magazine or any print publication. So you want to be selective about how you run type across these breaks.